What's up, guys? So today we are working on the second chicken tractor. We're going to do more of a traditional Southern style. It's going to be kind of the, I guess what you would call the standard setup. The one that we showed y'all beforehand that we put, that we currently have our meat birds in, is a little bit bigger. It's the same style, just a little bit different. Got a few modifications. This one, I'm going to make it a 10 by 10, 2 foot tall. We'll have metal across the top and on the back side and half of two sides, just to give them an area to get out of the weather. And then once we get that done, we'll get it out with the other one. We'll show you the differences between the two. This one, it's going to be everything's top loaded from it. I think we're actually going to convert the other one to have that as an option, just because it can be quite interesting trying to get food and water and things of that nature in and out. So we're just experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But going to show you all the process. All the lumber that we have is treated. I had a bunch of 2x4s left over from some stuff, and then we went and got some, I believe, 12-foot 2x4s. The original plan was to make two 12x12s, but I think this one we are going to make 10 by 10 just to make it a little easier to move. The big one, we do have to use a four-wheeler to drag it around. This one I'm intending on being able to move it around without the four-wheeler. And then we'll have a metal roof with hardware cloth around the sides of it. The metal roof was some leftover stuff from a job site, so been pretty lucky. The only thing that I've had to purchase for building these were the 12-foot 2x4s and then the hardware cloth. So pretty minimal expense overall. We'll kind of break it down, and I can kind of give you basically a cost per tractor to show you the differences in the two. But yeah, other than that, first thing I have to do is these big 12-footers. I have to rip those down in half because just for saving material and saving on weight, it's just we're ripping 2x4s in half. That's the thickness of it. We're not building a house, so it doesn't have to be super heavy duty, sturdy. The first one, I did put skids along the bottom. I'm debating on if I want to do the skids. I'll probably do the skids on it, but we'll kind of play around with that and see what it looks like. But other than that, we're gonna get to working on this, get to ripping some 2x4s, and we'll chop some stuff down, get everything to length, and then we'll get out of the barn and we'll start assembling everything. So here we go. Alright guys, so one, you can hear Piglet. That's our little guinea that we have running around. Piglet, shut up. Thank you. And we are working on the last panel. We've got 3 of them completed. Like I said, this is going to be the 10 by 10 version. Good for roughly 50 birds. The one that we currently have is a 12 by 12, which is more than enough for 50, but it's a little taller, so we're actually going to use it for turkeys as well. So that was the main purpose in doing that. All right, guys, so we got everything put together. We've got most of our materials here out behind us. We are going to kind of lay it out here in the open, start assembling everything, get it all ready. Once we get done with this, we'll be ready to throw the roof on. Theoretically, we should be done. So I'm going to get to work on this. I'm going to kick you all back over here in the shade. You know, put your feet up, get your drink, sit here, watch, and you can just sit back and relax. And I'm going to put all this together and stand out in the sun and sweat for a little bit. So we'll be back here in just a bit. Okay guys, so we've got it put together. We've got one more thing that we have to do. I'll see if I can show you. So, let's see here. Alright, you can see how my hand fits under here. We put the runners so it elevates this. So, originally I was thinking about doing a full 2x4 through here, kind of making another runner. But I think what I'm going to do is just do another one of these half pieces, and we're just going to take that just to fill this gap. On the other one, I have a piece of rubber. It was a rubber belt off of a round baler that we cut and put on there. But I might have enough for one more side, but I definitely don't have enough for both sides. So I think we're just going to do the wood on it, and we'll call it good. So, and then we'll wrap everything with wire, and then we'll start throwing our metal on. So, yep. Alright guys, so we're just about wrapped up with this. Show you what we've got. We've got our metal on. Obviously I have to cut the ends off, and what I'm doing is I'm going to put a short piece here that I can remove, and then I'm leaving this to where I can just flip it up, and then that way we can just drop our water or feed, and then whenever we go to get birds in and out, we can just take this one panel off and we can access them however we need. I was going to run metal around half of the bottom just to give a windbreak, and then I realized I've got a bunch of this exterior grade plywood that I had for an old project I was working on, and they're cut right at 2 foot tall, and so it fits perfect right there. So I'm just going to screw some of those on since I already have them pre-cut, and that saves me from having to hack up a bunch of extra metal. It's something I already have pre-made lying around, so we're going to use it, so get that used up. But I have to run up and get some stuff to cut this metal. I'm going to get some water because it is hot and I have not drank enough today. So we're going to do that. We'll be back and get this thing finished up. Alright, we're back. I had to change out the card, but so you can see, we'll just take slide this metal back up and over. It's a little difficult doing it with one hand, so I'll do that later so I don't cut myself. But yeah, you can kind of take a walk around on it. So we will go grab the four-wheeler, pull this out to the field, get it set up, and we'll be back. Alright, we got the four-wheeler going. We got the shackle and the chain hooked up. I'm just going to ease it forward. I don't like that at all. So on my other one, I have a runner that runs to the center, which is where we pull at, and this flexes way too much to be pulling right there. So we'll have to think on this one. I've got some rope that I can attach to the sides, put one at each corner, and we can move it that way. I may do that just so I don't have to add more wood to it. So let's go try that, see what happens. Alright, hook this rope on here. Hook the chain on it. Let's try it. So, I really don't like it without the center runner on there. I think if we're just pulling slow through the field, it's going to be alright. I may add one later. I'm probably not going to right now because I need to use it right now. So, I'll probably get it out here so that we can use it, and then we'll modify it later. So, we're going to get this hauled out to the field. Okay, that was not very graceful, but it's out here. So, looks like the chickens probably need water anyways. Alright, so I'm going to get the feeder set up, get ready to move chicks, and I will bring y'all back whenever we are getting ready to open the door and release them. So, see y'all in a minute. Alright guys, so we currently have it set up. We've got one water, 2 feeders in here. We're probably going to have to modify that. Obviously, as you can see, the chickens are out and they are absolutely everywhere. So I'm going to set you all back. We're going to start sorting these out, and you'll see how rabid they get whenever you bring feed out. We've got a bucket over there. We're going to give them their evening feed. So here we go. Alright guys, so we have our setup complete. You can see the two compared to each other. It's probably the best comparison shot right there. The one on the right is 10 by 10, 2 foot tall. The one on the left is 12 by 12, 3 foot tall. So we'll get up in here and you can kind of see the setup. We have probably just under 50, probably like 45 in there. And then in here, we have the remainder of the 100. Get over here in the shade. And you can see them in there. Right now we have these as the doors in the back, but I am going to make it a top access, just like the small one. But that is our chicken tractor project for the week, probably for the year, I don't know. But that's what we're going to wrap up this year with, is using these two. We've got the bigger ones in the tall tractor, the smaller ones in the small tractor. These will be the ones we process first. They should, we'll get them processed here in a couple weeks. We're shooting for around 6 pounds or so, whole live weight whenever we take them in. Hopefully giving us around about a 4.5 pound bird. It's like the ideal, probably the ideal selling weight. Just kind of take you around, and we'll just kind of keep continuing to run them out here across the field. So that is what we're going to do. If you have any questions as far as how anything was done, have any suggestions, there's a lot of people that's been doing this a lot longer than me and that know a lot more than me. This is our first year running this, so we're just kind of sharing what we're doing. I've got a few actual like factory made, commercial made large tractors that I'm looking at for next year. So that may be a route if we, get the right things in line. But otherwise, hope y'all have an awesome week, and we'll keep on doing what we can here at the ranch. So we'll see y'all later. Tune back in to Rugged Timber Ranch.